Welcome to your gift reading. This is the Peace Dealer, and I hope you gain the utmost of quality. Um, I hope you once again gain the utmost of quality from this Saturn return and gift report. This is the Peace Dealer, and I'm glad to see that this report is wow, featuring a Saturn return with Saturn in Pisces. Uh, as a Taurus rising, one thing Lauren and I have in common is that we're both 27-degree Taurus risings. Except she was born in 94, the year of the super sauce, Pluto, Jupiter, and North Node. It's a big deal. And we see she's an alien. I have Saturn on my moon. She has Saturn on her moon. That's gangster. It's just she also has it on her sun because she decided to be born beyond this dimensional plane. She's like, yeah, I don't want to be immortal. But she does have the embodiment of this divinity as a natural queen. So, I mean, she's already a boss. This is super badass, I'm not gonna lie, as a fellow Saturn moon. So I'm going to share an alien construct article that you, Lauren, I forgot because you're listening to this reading, can gain from. And, you know, I do recommend you getting a natal chart reading with me if you haven't. You do sound familiar, like we've done reading before, but that could just be for different reasons. Regardless, I would love to give you a reading because your chart is upper echelon. Upper echelon to me refers to sun and moon in the last 3 or 4 zodiac signs from Sag to, of course, Pisces. And I mean, you have this total God construct or alien construct. I'm going to start referring to them as God constructs because you have the Titan King and, of course, Elder Big G Saturn on your sun and moon. So I'm going to attach this alien construct because one thing, first of all, the person who wrote this article that I'm going to attach, I did a reading with her. One of the best readings I ever had. I had to wait 4 months, missed the reading, had to wait another 4 months. It was still the best reading ever. And she said something about our specific alien construct being a Saturn vessel alien that really now aligns to once you come into your Saturn return, you literally step into immortality. Okay. So this is really a huge deal. And from experience, when she gave me that reading and told me that, I had survived a near fatal car accident. So I was like, yeah, you're right. We really are immortal. And it's not just so much of mortality. She made a point to tell me that we could have died before that because, you know, when you're born, you compress your power you came in since birth. And now this 30-year Saturn cycle is the decompression of that power. Boom, Saturn returns, your power returns, you immortal. And here's the thing, this totality of power in your soul, I have in Capricorn. It actually gives me the most powerful soul. At this point in my career, if you don't have an Aquarius moon or a Pisces moon, I'm going to have a little bit of an attitude. I'm going to kind of be a little bit like stuck up. That's a lie. I'm not going to be stuck up, but I'm going to have that in the back of my head and be like, I'm the most powerful soul. You know what I'm saying? The only two moon signs that I look up to is Aquarius moon and you, Pisces moon, because you got the highest Saturn moon or God soul. In fact, it was a Scorpio sun with a moon, Saturn Pisces, called me up out of nowhere, said that we have God souls. We don't have free will like other people do, and I have a dragon. It was the most Scorpio shit ever, because after that call, I never heard from her again. You know how y'all just like to disappear. And I know you got the Pisces moon, so you're not Scorpio, but it could be kind of similar. Anyway, she had moon on Saturn and Pisces. She was just the older generation, so you're one of the most powerful representatives with this. Jesus Christ, my friend. I know you're not from here. Let me just say this real quick. I know you're not from here. Okay, I'm an alien myself too. But other than that, I just had to say that because I'm looking at Pisces with the side eye. I'm like, what are y'all even doing here? Like, what are y'all doing on our dimension? But clearly we do see you're a public figure. You know what I'm saying? You got the late Taurus rising. So Pisces is your 11th house, but it falls into the 10th because, of course, we both have most of Gemini in our first house. So and whoever got you this Saturn return really cares about you, because Saturn returns are for the OGs. And like, shout out to you, Daniel. This is really awesome. You are a Saturn power and Saturn vessel alien. The astro nerd in me is going crazy. I don't think you know how gangster that is. You're a gangster. I just want to let you know you're a gangster. Like, anytime I see Saturn here and you got the God of War on your soul, no one wants to smoke with you. Yeah, you're going to be more Piscean, compassionate. This isn't like Aries anger, but like you're very methodical in your approach. And people don't know you got Doctor Strange power. So like you just have to believe and imagine it, and it happens. And like that's going to be something very hard for people to understand about you, because you're a living legend. You're a living legend. You're a living legend who's a boss. Natural Queen Lauren, who is divine. You're born in the balsamic phase, which is a Pisces signature, with the Titan god and the God of War in your soul. You're a gangster. You're a gangster. I don't know what else to say. I just have to start this video out with you're a freaking gangster. And I have to share the Pluto shadow alien. I have this too. Please make sure you read this. We basically attract evil people who basically like are obsessed with us at first and then play narcissists and try and like attack us. It's not as simple as attracting evil people. More so, people who attract you in an underworld experience. They could be super pure. They could be super damaged. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. Other than that, though, Jupiter hasn't been added here, but that's gonna be also. I don't want to make this a natal chart reading, but your chart is so gangster. I have to a little bit. Like, you don't normally. I kind of go crazy when I see alien constructs like this, because now let's talk about your Saturn return. You and I both have MCs in Aquarius, specifically like this too. I have it 9 degrees, but it falls in the 9th, ruled by the 10th. So that, think about what I do. I am known, Aquarius, for teaching 9th house about the stars and the planets. Aquarius, science. So that's the same for you, my friend. It's just I'm a Gemini sun. I have a Gemini sun. So my awareness of this is more as the messenger. I'm manifesting the truth of all this. But your awareness is at the highest in Pisces. So you're aware behind the veil of all the supernatural metaphysical shit that constitutes this extraordinary cosmic knowledge that with Mercury here, you have the mind of a genius. See, I have a slower mind. It's strong, it's in Taurus, but it's not necessarily as bigger picture knowledgeable as you. And you have the capacity to store more knowledge, whereas I'm going to store more physical senses and then use that to analyze my reality. I have to really distinctly point the quality out of my Gemini Taurus and your Pisces Aqua, because you're literally, in a sense, an ascended version of me, where you're experiencing beyond the 3D, whereas I'm experiencing in the 3D. Subtle difference, okay? So your mind is legitimately connected to your brain's ability at a knowledgeable level, not only to process the knowledge of the universe around you as a framework and board of knowledge to catapult the imagination that your Pisces uses this knowledgeable programming of your brain and synapses fired at lightning quick speed, because Aquarius is literal genius, so you have a genius mind. in order to manifest for the collective in the 11th house. This imagination is just, you have Saturn here, yo. So like you can control time, move it backwards and forwards. You can literally establish world families. You can recognize ego-driven schemes, manifest anything into a third dimensional reality in Pisces with the vehicle of your imagination. And Mars now adds so much power and integrity to how you take action in this unconventional metaphysical vein in nature. Your soul being a vessel of all of this, and you feeling hypersensitively the entirety of the collective unconsciousness, which is just nothing less than uncomfortable. Because with Saturn here, it will feel like you're emotionally constipated, but it will give you supernatural abilities because, you know, you're a gangster. Other than that, now let's talk about the Saturn return, because this Saturn return is the official unlocking of you inheriting this power. Unlike most people's Saturn returns, your Saturn return is linked to your soul and your spirit. So you really just want to see this as a full-on anime trope. I don't know if you watch anime, but in anime, there's certain tropes where like you have someone who's like too powerful, so the writers have to nerf them. And so they can only access like some of their power. Or you have an anime trope where like a villain or a bad guy is way too powerful, but like they came back or they resurrected from a past life and they can only access like a portion of their power. So for even though they're powerful enough to wipe off everything and just finish the show early, they have this like nerf in their power where I can only access like 10% of my power right now. If I can access 100% of my power, it would be over for you foolish mortals. I'm not saying this is how you talk, but I'm definitely saying that you play into this archetype. So like without the villainous talk, but basically the whole aspect of that, especially at the level of Pisces, everything after Capricorn takes at least 30 years to unlock because this is the big wigs, this is the big deal stuff. But yeah, also it's because it pertains to all the universe, and you know, it's just certain things you can't really, you might contemplate when you're 12 years old, but you're not going to really, Saturn is karma and death. You're not really going to be handling these responsibilities at 15 when we're still going through puberty. But at 31, when you're contemplating why you're still paying taxes to the IRS and government organizations, this will start to come in. Like Saturn will just start to speak to you in the back of your head like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. That's actually Saturn, which is responsible for government authority and taxes. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is legitimately the period coming into 2023, because 2023, I love y'all Saturn return, by the way. Y'all decided to have y'all Saturn return at the literal beginning of the end of the world, which is just gangster. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? This is the unlocking fully of your power. We're also going to see Aquarius come into, Pluto is going to come into Aquarius during this. What makes this the beginning of the end of the world, by the way, is that Saturn is a figurative representation of the totality. Hence, in the tarot, it's the world. So, keeping that in mind, right? We have Saturn cycles every 30 years, and Saturn going through Pisces is representative of the end of that world in the cycle. This happens every 30 years. And Saturn and Pisces, when I say the end of the world, it's the last sign, the end of Saturn, the world. So it's literally the end of the world before we start a new cycle with the new generation, Pluto Sag. And that's the most significant thing about y'all generation. 95 is where Pluto goes into Sag, while Saturn is still in Pisces. And so y'all are the bridge generation, my friend. I've learned that y'all are the most important part of this, because y'all have a very important task to tell the older generation, hey guys, you fucked up. You guys are trash, and you left us all this trash to clean up. And then you're going to clean up all this trash, because Pisces is synthesis. Pisces is the completion of the Virgoan analysis, where Virgo has to just point out the flaws, like you suck here. This is also where you suck. You need to tidy this up. You suck so bad. You need to clean this up. And then Pisces is the synthesis of this, like, okay, so this is why you've sucked for so long. And this is also why you suck. And this is what you can do to suck less. Okay. And that can just be taken wrong if people have ego. So Pisces and Virgo kill the ego. Scorpio kills the ego. But Pisces and Virgo work in their part to clean the ego after it's dead. And this is where, that's really y'all generation. It's like, y'all have known this for so long, but now you're of age and you get to deal with it, even though it should have never been yours to deal with. And then you clean that up, and then you pass the torch to Pluto Sag and Saturn Aries 96. The brand new creation of the brand new world. As a part of Pluto Scorpio, we're here to really just destroy what isn't built in truth and purity. And I love that you have that aspect right on your DC. I have Pluto where you have Jupiter. So I count it as a DC, but you have it exactly there with Destiny, which is unlocking right now. Okay, for both of us, but exactly with the notes for you. So you're unlocking partnerships that's going to manifest at this stage the essence of you, even though in your chart, your destiny, because you're such a divine boss, you got it like that. You literally do. You're a divine gangster, my friend. So you decided, you know what, I'm just going to use my juice. I'm just going to use my cream to transform other people. You're going to lay the sauce on other people. And that's really your focus. It's not about you. And of course it's not about you. You're an ascended master. So of course, all the Pisces are ascended masters. So you came here to assist humanity. Pisces is the one sign that if you're born, it's an attainment. It's like, okay, clearly this isn't your first rodeo. You came here to inspire humanity. But so it makes sense that your destiny is to transform other people. But right now, other people are coming through to transform you, because this is the completion of what you started 10 years ago of transforming other people. Now you're manifesting your identity with partnerships that influence this. But relative to the Saturn return 2023, I would put a Saturn return chart, but it's still too soon. We need to know exactly what city you're in, and don't worry about those. Saturn returns are cool if we just at least see how it plays in your chart, which we'll see. You're having your Saturn return natally in your 10th house, ruled by the 11th, having you harness this community leadership, because even though all of this falls in the 10th, it rules the 11th. And so you are somebody who's going to create a divine space. Saturn here is you organizing and controlling it, because now you're coming back with your authority. You have soul authority, which brings me to this power, deity soul, the ability to have a soul of a deity. Okay. I remember Waka Flocka in a recent interview spoke on the God within him giving him advice at some point. And then I looked at his chart and I saw he was moon in Pisces with Jupiter on his moon. So he literally had the king of the Olympian gods, Jupiter. Does he know that? No, he doesn't read astrology. But did he have to know that? No, because he connects to the God within him. Just like you have the God within you. And it's not just specific to a planet. We see the composite here of Mars and Saturn, which makes you exceptionally gangster. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie at all, because you have Saturn's intensity, but then you have Mars's aggression. So like, I just wouldn't mess with you, even though it's very compassionate in Pisces. It's a mutable sign that can switch. Like if someone like steps to you wrong, that Saturn will come out, and like, people won't even, Pisces is invisible. So people won't even see why like they tripped, because in their head, they're like, ew, I don't like her face. And then like they dropped their food unexpectedly and have no idea. That has to do with them bad mouthing your royalty, your majesty. Okay, I'm not being sarcastic. So anyway, as you can see, users of this ability are not gods in human bodies. Rather, their spiritual essence is divine or godlike in origin. The user has supernatural abilities on a godlike level. You have this ability. Some users of this power might be in a dormant state due to being suppressed by a higher being or having to be awakened by an event. I also want to pull up divine vessel. Make sure you read this article too. This is literally the power to be a vessel for a deity. Divine Pisces vessel moon. Pisces moon. Pisces moon. Pisces moon. This is also your ability to. I'm sorry. So yes, this is one of the dopest Saturn return readings I've ever done, because the main crux of this is you coming into your supernatural godlike powers that you've always had access to behind the veil your whole life, but now with Saturn of 3D reality can anchor into your 3D self. Literally, what are the odds that you're coming into your Saturn return as the North Node is manifesting and unlocking the fullness of your royalty and embodiment of manifestation? You have to be a gangster of some kind. I don't know what else to say. And to give you context, when I had my Saturn return in the 9th house, the 8th, 9th house, we know that my Gemini sun, right? My sun is in Gemini. And so Saturn is 8th house to the sun in Gemini, but Saturn is in the 9th house. So I became a part of an initiative and worked towards building and creating a college, higher education, 9th house, right? But guess what it was about? The occult, the 8th house. Okay. And so that's how I got to see that. I also began to start my business, which was connected to my 10th when Saturn started to actually transit my North Node in the 8th house here. So we know that Saturn for you is actually 1st house to your sun, but 11th house to your Taurus rising. So this is you coming into self-defined authority to create a collective around you. You're going to have this authority to create a bunch of worshipers and followers around you. I don't know how you're going to be comfortable hearing this, but my friend, you are a goddess queen. You are not a mortal being. You have an eternal soul, and you are now immortal. You are now among the ranks of us, the immortal beings. Okay? I'm not even this is going to be weird to say because this sounds delusional as hell, but you're a Pisces. So you already speak this language, my friend. And I'm just so glad that I can share this with you. You're a Saturn sun moon, so you're not really a delusional Pisces. You can break this stuff down very clearly, and you have MC and Aqua, so you have a very scientific way of teaching this. That's your legacy. Saturn has gone through here. Jupiter's evolved here. Your career has evolved to the next level, and you're experiencing the rewards of this year and next year. But it's very important to establish before Jupiter evolves your heart that this is your legacy. Your legacy is to be known. You are a divine goddess, my friend. You are a vessel of this energies, but I just need it. I'm not saying this out of flattery. I'm not trying to hit on you, be like, yeah, girl, you a goddess. No. This is science. You're a goddess, okay? I'm an angel. I have an angel spirit. I have a God soul, but I'm an angel spirit. You're a divine goddess. You're a leader. You're here to, people are meant to see you and follow you. You have worshipers. I don't know if you're going to call it like that because you're very compassionate. I don't think you see people as below you. If anything, your heart bleeds unconditionally for other people. But make sure, remember, you have Saturn, draw those boundaries, right? With Uranus and Neptune, you are the divine goddess that is expressing the power and authority of your divinity, riding for those who worship you in spirit and truth. And yeah, I'm talking in cheek saying it like this, but I'm not really, because what's going to happen is you're going to start to see this. You're going to start to see this. You're going to start to see the way people change the way they act around you. You're going to start to see how this power awakens and it changes the way people stand in your presence. And with great power comes, exactly, Saturn, great responsibility. So there's a literal karmic responsibility for organizing all of this attention and energy that you may not even want around you, because that's what you're here to do. You have all the abilities. Like, you're at the divine level. So like, it's not about what's your superpower. What power do you not have? It's really more so the nature of how you weave them, which is more divine in essence as a master goddess level magician or magician. I like to say magician just to say the CK. And that's just me being facetious. But yeah, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this Saturn return. It falls in the 10th as well. So this is going to be perhaps tied to the experience of a career you flesh out and you are defining. But to see this happening during 2023 and then complete 2025, 2023 is when you're going to finish your final exam. 2025 is when you start to get the results after everyone else in your Saturn group has finished the final exam, and it goes into Aries and the exam is over. So yeah, I also like to see of Uranus and Neptune at the end of Capricorn, which now takes this perhaps to another level in a way, especially if you also take into account, how realistically you're in a position as well to harness all of this. So, don't necessarily be perturbed by any delays. Since your sun is here, you're going to be aware of this process, and it's really around you. And we have to honor that this is happening simultaneously with the North Node in your rising. So I hope you enjoy this eclipse. This eclipse is going to be the first step to manifest yourself and then return your power. And then you can take on the world. Looks like your focus is more beyond this realm as an Ascended Master leading humanity. But other than that, you know what? Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this reading. You stay blessed as always. And until next time, peace.